On today's episode, we abandon ship taking the jib with us. We're heading home back to the wage cage. But just because there's work to do doesn't mean we're not going to go on an adventure. This time we're going to do a stealth car camping adventure. Usually on the car camping adventures, we tend to go to more remote locations with much nicer scenery than this multi-story car park. Today's location is Birmingham International Airport and train station. There is a reason why we've gone for the camping setup this week, which I'll explain in two shakes of a jiffy. And no, it wasn't for the sightseeing of Birmingham International train station. Hey folks, Scully Nomad here. Hope you are well, and an extra special welcome to Birmingham International Airport and train station. So I am stealth camping this week in this beautiful, luxurious, exotic location because I'm doing 6 days worth of work at the airport. So although it's only 3 days a week, they are 14 hours a day. I am getting here for 6 in the morning and I am leaving here about 8:30, and I am working airside. So this lovely airside visitor pass here means whenever I go into the airport, I have to meet a member of staff for the store that I'm working for these 6 days and get escorted everywhere. If I need a toilet, I have to be escorted. If I want to pop to Starbucks, I need to be escorted. If I want to go back to landside, I need to be escorted. I can't be left alone at any point, including going into the staff room to chill. So I thought, you know what? I'll just grab my camping gear and I'll save a little bit of money and we'll make food here and I'll make the coffees here. So this morning was a right treat getting in because the car in front of me couldn't figure out how to actually get into the car park. So I'll throw it on screen, but literally for 5 minutes I was just behind him, and then somebody else actually ran over to get him. He was trying to scan like the kind of QR code at the underneath the kind of ticket machine, which was just not working for him. So somebody came out and shouted at him. Being stuck in the airport, this is the first time all day, so this is now 2 o'clock in the afternoon, that I've seen daylight. So we've got salad, by the way, we've got coffee, going to be brewing up in the car in 2 shakes of a jiffy. Let's pop that down there, and I'm going to start off with carbonara. Nothing too exotic, it is just a frozen ready meal that I've used as pretty much as ice pack, and we're going to go with the traditional slow is pro on here. So I'm going to put my coffee grounds in there once I've done the coffee. And then I got some wipes to keep things a little bit clean around here, and I've got some bread. I brought some fancy bread because it was 10p a roll. I've gone with the induction hob because my friend has the gas hob, which means it won't get too warm in here. And here's my legendary 10p bread that I managed to find. What a bargain. And I think we're gonna have to eat with a teaspoon. Okay, so somebody has not been organized. This was kind of just out on a whim, actually. I do have my mattress and sleeping bag, although the main sleeping bag that I use usually is on the boat, and it's going to get down to 3 degrees. I've gone with the one below the rooftop because if it does rain, I'm not going to have the rain hitting the hood here. And then I parked in the very far side away from the monorail, which kind of goes 24/7. It stops for a few hours in the evening. Now the food in the airport is super expensive, which is one of the reasons why I have gone this way and got my cooking equipment out. So I'm just going with the microwave meal because of the affordability aspect. I mean, I have spent a fortune here. So a coffee in the airport is £5.15 for a large Starbucks. I've gone to the machine for Costa and that's been £3.85. And then yesterday I had Greggs. Now I do like Greggs, do not mind their food at all, but you know, sometimes they don't really put too much pride and joy into it, let's say. Yeah, we're just doing very raw basic cooking today. Nothing fancy like last time. This is the type of cooking I tend to do on board the boat. If you want any recipes, please let me know in the comments below and I'll start posting some on Instagram and Facebook. It's just a small selection of the stuff that I cook. For those wondering how is it that I managed to power this induction hob, I actually have a Bluetti power station. It's the AC 200p that I paid about 700 for, and I've connected it to the Bluetti charger 1, which is behind here. So I flip this switch and as I'm driving it will charge the power bank. I charge this with my solar at home on top of that. But yeah, let's get the bread off and throw the carbonara in. me to get out of the airport, I need to be escorted all the way to the kind of airside security team, and then from there I can then go on to landside where I can just walk around myself. But the airport, it's really run down. They're kind of doing a load of work on there, but there's nothing except for a Greg's, a Costa Coffee, and a Marks and Spencer's food hall where you basically buy groceries from. So there's nowhere real to eat. Last time I was here, like several years ago, there's like a Weatherspoons, all bar one. They're all gone, which is why I'm doing this. It smells very nice actually. I've not had this one, but it is frozen, which is kind of concerning. I got it last night and I put it in the fridge, and then from the fridge it's been in the cool bag, and it's been in the car. But yeah, this is the carbonara. I'm thinking about getting one of those 3-in-1 air fryers by Sage, where they've got the microwave, air fryer and conventional oven. If you do have one of them, if it's any good, please let me know, because I'm thinking about getting one, and then eventually I'll put it in the van, because although this is nice and everything, it's definitely kind of overly cozy, we'll say. If you're new to the channel, I do a different range of topics. It's not all kind of stealth camping or car camping. I also own a 40-foot sailboat, do boat tour videos. As my car is held together with duct tape and hope, I do a lot of my own repairs and document the experience on that. And along with the kind of car maintenance, I also do my boat maintenance on there, where I'm doing like upgrades and all different kind of things. Really depends what's going on, as my work is literally like last minute. So right now I have only 2 days work booked in, and that's a month away, and this job, which is only 6 days in total. In the meantime, I'm trying to save up for a van. Adventures a little bit more enjoyable, and because of the clean air zone. So if I drive my car into Birmingham, Bristol or London, I get a fine for it. So we're paying the clean air zone, the income tax, the national insurance, student loan repayment, parking, fuel, road insurance, car tax. If I did finance a vehicle, I'd be paying the finance. So all of these fees and charges. My channel hit over 300,000 views the other day, which is fantastic, so thanks for watching and thanks for being fans. I've got a few other projects lined up in the works, so I do have some more boat tours planned. I just need to schedule around other people at the moment. Then I have a car repair video for the boost pipe, cleaning the jib. So I took the jib down last time I was on the boat and brought it home. So I've got like, my parents have a big kind of open drive in the back, so I can clean it properly. I'll clean their driveway while I'm at it as well. You know, 2 birds, 1 stone. Speaking of stones, I don't want to rub the stones into the sail and make holes in them. I enjoy reading your comments, questions and feedback. A lot of you have really enjoyed the boat tour videos. I am planning on doing some more of them. It's just scheduling, and I'm trying to save up for a new camera because my GoPro, which I'm filming on now, keeps freezing all the time. I've been doing a bit of editing on my last video, which is 6 years of boat ownership, and just breaking down my kind of overall experience with a few different kind of topics. But it was very frustrating to make because the GoPro just kept freezing. And I'm trying to get better with my content as well. So if you have any tips, good or bad, just please put them in the description below. One of the questions that I had is, how is it that I stay warm when I am car camping, especially in the winter? It's all about the sleeping bag. So I actually left my good sleeping bag on the boat because I was there like a couple of weeks ago. I did a boat tour video with a young fella called Jimmy, who owns this Nordic Cat 33. Very nice boat. It's been quite a very well received video. I've done a few other boat tour videos with a Bavaria 36, my neighbour's boat, and of course my boat. So there's 4 boat tours if you're interested in kind of outdoor living and boat tours and that type of thing. But I left my sleeping bag there. I got my not so good sleeping bag here, and it's going to get down to 3 degrees tonight, so I'm really on the fence of whether I'm actually going to sleep overnight. I'm going to be editing the video that I did last time, which is 6 years of owning a boat, kind of my overall experience. It's kind of more UK themed. I was really frustrated making the video because of the amount of times the GoPro kept cutting out. I mean, it took me 4 hours of filming and just to do a 15-minute video. I believe that is done. So let's check it out. So we're going to turn that off, put this just to the side here, so go there, and then I try and get one of my 5 a day constantly. forgot my balsamic glaze, how very dare I. And then we've got some bread, and the way I'm going to eat it is literally got my tray from my lap, put the wooden chopping board that I use on top of the tray, and then I'm gonna have to tackle it with the spoon, so wish me luck with that. So here we go. I forgot the olive oil and the balsamic vinegar. I've been car camping for a long time, so I actually started in around 2008. I'm used to sleeping in random places, so I've been all over the world. I've hiked up mountains, I've crossed deserts, one day I'll cross oceans. In the meantime, we're just working with what we got, and what we got is a multi-story car park, a car that's held together with duct tape and hope, and a nice meal. So yeah, quite recommend that Goodfellas carbonara. Probably better in the microwave rather than doing pan frying method, but I do use a lot of microwave meals to cook with because they're very easy, especially when I'm in the hotel rooms. You know, the key is slow is pro. Now I spend about at least 4 months of the year in hotels, and then I go to the boat a lot obviously, and then car camp, and then I do spend quite some time with my folks. Before the boat and all my accident and everything, I used to go abroad a lot, so I've hiked up mountains, I've crossed deserts, a lot of adventure. So I've only have photos. I never went the YouTube route or anything with that. You know, it's only been a recent thing after becoming single. Had a whole bunch of spare time to do. Started off with car repair videos, and then kind of just progress for there. So I'm interested in lots of different things, which means I do lots of different things. So my GoPro died and I headed back to work. I finished a shift and headed back to the car, getting ready for a stealth camp. It's 8:45 now. I put the plastic sheet on the window earlier. This one I need to put on because you can see light on the other side now. So I'm going to put the visor up. I'm going to put my pole up, which is going to go up here. The extension pole is from IKEA, and I think it's around £10, but what I do is I put it over the grab handles above the car doors, and then I put a blanket over it so you can't see them. Gonna say, I am tired, so I think it's 42 hours in total. I'm gonna redo the maths on that, but yeah, 6:30 till 8:30, so 14 hours a day, times, oh, looks pretty good actually. So we'll do slow as pro on the induction hob again. But yeah, so 14 hours a day. I'm only doing 3 days. I can't remember if I mentioned that earlier or not, because it's been a long day. So I'm going to cook this up, I'm going to eat, do the reports that I've got to do for the job as well, because it's not a case of simply doing the job. No, that'd be too easy. You've also got to do reports to it. I find when a bit like this, where there's not much sauce, if you add a little bit of water and then make sure you keep the lid on, things like this is pretty much already cooked, so you don't really need to if you don't want to. You know, you could eat it raw, basically. That's what I'm getting at. I'm tired now, folks. But what I've done here is with the mattress, it's a self-inflatable one, but it's folded basically over there, and the duvet, well, the sleeping bag that I've got and the pillow is underneath, and I've kind of forced it back. So once I've done this and eaten it, I'm then gonna drop it down, throw my kitchen stuff away right in the back corner, and get my laptop and little table out, so then I can get on with what I'm doing in a little bit, which I'll show you in a minute. Alright, got my trusty spoon. There's no cutlery in the airport that I could have borrowed for tomorrow, but yeah, there we go, guys. Paella, 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 paella. Let's whack that there for now. Now I'll get eating. I'm gonna put some. I can put something on here just for something to watch while I eat this, and then it's going to be doing my reports. Then I'll go on to do a little job hunt because I have no work booked in at the minute. Well, 2 days on this coffee venture stuff, but that's in 3 weeks time. and then do some editing for the video that will hopefully be coming out tomorrow night, if I can get it done. So it did take 4 hours of filming. I'm not sure how long it's going to take editing, but it's going to take a long time. The GoPro kept freezing, so I had to keep recording, recording, and it's basically 6 years of owning a boat and like my experience. So I'll talk a little bit about, you know, the overall experience with like the weather and the tide, council plans, a little bit about the maintenance, a little bit of a snippet of what things cost, like the anti-fouling paint. But yeah, that's the video basically theme. But yeah, I'm gonna eat this because I'm starving. And then my laptop not to get squashed. So how can my laptop not get squashed? If I put this here, this way, this table here, like so, and if I try and drop this, laptop table. So it's elevated with the inflatable mattress, and then this one extension leg is out, and I can put the mouse here, like so. That's set up, man. So yeah, I got my little cool bag, my light, my power bank is just below here because I've rolled out the mattress, like so. Got my stuff back there. I just need to do some work, really. If you wonder what editing looks like, these are all the bars. So there's your sound, the audio. These are like kind of infographics. So my most recent video that I've been working on is this one, where you get all the topics covered and things. So all the fonts and the graphics, and then you got to chop and change and cut. So there's a few clips from last time. Got to dig it all out, try and make it all make sense. So if you could like the videos, because you can see like how much goes into all of this, because it's not easy doing this. Right then, good night folks. So yeah, this is what it looks like. So my feet go down here towards the back of the car, but then I do have all this space. So you know, this space here is vacant. I could drop the seat down, but I don't have a double mattress, so there's no need, and I can freely move around in here. Sure, it's not as comfortable as the boat, let's say, or at home, but I'm gonna have a little power nap and then go back to work. And then thanks for watching, thanks for being fans. It's very foggy today. Let me show you what it's like. So misty today versus yesterday's sunrise. Back to work, but thanks for watching, thanks for being fans.